The great galactic council chamber shimmered with a brilliance only possible in the heart of a starship the size of a small moon. Hundreds of representatives from across the known galaxy gathered, their forms as varied as the countless worlds. They came from some crystalline, some gas-like, some towering and insectile, others ethereal and shimmering with energy. But amid the grandeur and power, there was one name that prompted nothing but disinterest. Earth, the Vakari envoy said with a bored flick of his many-jointed limbs. A primitive rock, barely worth mention. Their technology is archaic. Their species, inconsequential. Laughter rippled through the chamber. The council's verdict was unanimous. Earth was a backwater, a fading ember of an ancient, barely evolved race. No threat, no interest. High above Earth's atmosphere, the moon hung silent, a gray sentinel bathed in the cold light of distant suns. But inside its barren crust, something long dormant stirred deep beneath the surface, in a hidden laboratory carved into the lunar regolith. A team of human scientists huddled around a shimmering holographic console. Their leader, Dr. Elena Rivera, tapped a sequence of alien symbols. Her brow furrowed in concentration. "We've done it," she whispered. "The final encryption is breaking." The hologram flickered, revealing star charts and weapon schematics, unlike anything humans had ever seen. Ancient technology, more advanced than the galaxy's leading empires had ever dreamed possible, encoded in relics left by a civilization lost to time. But this revelation came with an eerie warning embedded deep in the code, almost a challenge. Those who ignore the quiet Earth shall awaken its fury. Back in the council chamber, the Vakari envoy sneered again. Humans, their greatest achievement is still putting metal in the sky. They lack the imagination to threaten us. Yet, as the council dissolved into their petty squabbles and posturing, they failed to notice the faint pulse of energy radiating from Earth's orbit, a silent signal broadcasting through the void. On Earth, cities thrummed with life, a chaotic blend of old-world grit and cutting-edge innovation. Neon signs flickered in the night as millions moved through crowded streets, unaware of the vast cosmic web of politics that had just condemned them to obscurity. But below the surface, in underground, workshops and secret bunkers, humanity prepared, not out of arrogance, but out of necessity. On the dark side of the moon, human engineers activated dormant starships, salvaged from forgotten wrecks, upgrading weapons with a mix of scavenged alien tech and human ingenuity. The soft hum of power cores echoed through cavernous hangars, blending with the quiet determination in every technician's eyes. Commander Marcus Hale, a veteran of Earth's Special Space Forces, stood before the assembly. His gaze was hard, unyielding. "They think we're weak. They think we're irrelevant. They think we won't fight." He paused, letting the weight of his words settle. "They're wrong." Outside the lunar base, the sky was silent, but the cosmos was beginning to shift. The galaxy had made a fatal mistake, one it would soon regret, as stars blinked in the distance. The pulse from the moon grew stronger, weaving its way through star systems, stirring ancient forces, long forgotten, and Earth, once dismissed as a silent witness, was waking. In the cold, sterile silence of the lunar lab, Dr. Elena Rivera's fingers danced over the holographic console, eyes fixed on the rapidly evolving alien script. Each symbol cracked open a new mystery, a new secret long buried beneath the moon's dusty surface. Outside, the gray lunar plains stretched endlessly, barren and still. But inside, a storm of discovery was raging. "This isn't just technology," Elena whispered, voice barely audible over the soft hum of machines. "It's a blueprint for something far beyond anything we imagined." Her team gathered closer, faces illuminated by the flickering blue light of the hologram. Star charts folded into complex diagrams of energy fields, propulsion systems, and weapons unlike any human had ever dreamed of. The data was overwhelming, centuries ahead of the galaxy's so-called advanced civilizations. Suddenly, An alarm pierced the quiet. The room's airlock blinked red. Security breach. A voice crackled through the comm system. Elena's heart raced. We've been compromised. Get the data secured. Lock down everything. Outside the lab, a shadow moved with deadly precision. An alien operative, cloaked in stealth technology, silently approaching the base's perimeter. His mission: retrieve or destroy the stolen secrets before humanity could use them. Back on Earth, millions remained oblivious to the invisible war unfolding above them. In sprawling metropolises, life buzzed with neon energy. Street vendors hawked exotic foods. Hovercars zoomed past holographic billboards, and children played beneath the ever-watchful eyes of surveillance drones. But beneath the surface, hidden from view, humanity was transforming. Underground factories churned out weapons forged from alien designs. Battle simulations ran nonstop in virtual war rooms where commanders plotted the defense of their home world. Commander Marcus Hale watched the feeds with cold intensity. They think this is just a curiosity, a relic of an ancient age, he muttered, voice gravelly. But it's the key to our survival. As the alien intruder slipped deeper into the base, the human security team sprang into action. Trapped in a maze of tunnels, the operative encountered sensors and traps designed not just to capture, but to incapacitate. The silence shattered with the crackle of energy nets and bursts of plasma fire. In the control room, Elena held her breath as the alarms blared. The databanks glowed fiercely as information transferred. Code unraveling ancient mysteries faster than anyone could follow. Suddenly, the alien operative was cornered. You're too late, Elena said, eyes locked on the screen. We're not just decoding history, we're building the future. The operative's visor flared, but a final warning flashed on his helmet before it shut down. The Earth will burn. They don't know what they're awakening. Outside the moon's shadow, distant fleets of alien ships moved with increased urgency. Rumors spread through the galactic network. A new power was rising on the edge of known space. The question whispered in every star system was the same. Is Earth really ready? The truth was, no one knew yet, not even the humans themselves. But something had changed. The quiet, ignored planet was no longer a passive player. It was awakening. The void of space stretched infinitely, vast and indifferent. A fleet of sleek alien warships, shimmering with advanced technology, carved through the blackness with calculated precision. The Vakari scout fleet, pride of the galaxy's military, might had arrived at Earth's doorstep, their confidence as palpable as the glow of their energy shields. Commander Vresh, the Vakari fleet leader, looked down on the blue planet below through his ship's viewport. Prepare to demonstrate our superiority, he growled. Show them why the galaxy fears us. But Earth was no longer the helpless backwater they remembered. Hidden within the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, a shadow fleet waited, ships patched together from scavenged parts and cutting-edge tech. Crews hardened by decades of stealth missions and relentless training. Captain Mara Chen, the human fleet commander, stood on the bridge of the flagship Defiant. Her eyes burned with steely resolve. They think we're a joke, she said softly. Let's remind them why humanity survives. The silence of space shattered in an instant. Alien energy beams flared, slicing through the darkness, but human ships darted between asteroids with an agility that left the Vakari stunned. Explosions blossomed like deadly flowers in the void as ships maneuvered with fierce precision. Mara's voice was calm, almost cold over comms. Target their command ship. Disable their sensors. Hit and run. The Vakari commander's confidence cracked as his flagship shuddered under the sudden assault. His tactical screens flashed warnings. Their technology, once unrivaled, faltered against the unpredictable tactics of humans who fought not with brute force, but cunning. Retreat is not an option, Fresh barked. Press the attack. But the humans were already vanishing, ships slipping through asteroid fields, disappearing into electromagnetic shadows below decks. Human engineers worked furiously, recalibrating weapon systems and patching damage. Every crew member understood the stakes. This was not just a battle. It was the galaxy's first real proof that humans could not be ignored. Meanwhile, back on Earth, citizens watched the unfolding conflict on massive holoscreens projected in city squares. Fear mixed with pride as their homeworld fought off what many believed was an unbeatable foe. Suddenly, the flagship Defiance suffered a critical hit. Sirens blared. Mara gritted her teeth. All hands braced for impact. But just as hope seemed to dim, a hidden human drone emerged, hacking into the Vakari flagship's systems. Alarms erupted on enemy consoles as control slipped away. The Vakari commander's voice cracked, frustration and disbelief blending with rage. Impossible. How do they do this? Captain Mara smiled grimly. Because we fight with heart, and they forgot to account for that. As the Vakari fleet limped into retreat, the message was clear across the stars. Humans were no longer a threat to be dismissed. They were a force to be reckoned with. Across the glittering skyline of New Tokyo, towering holographic screens suddenly flickered, then burst to life, not with ads or entertainment, but a message that sent ripples through every corner of the galaxy. A human figure appeared, standing tall beneath the banner of Earth's flag. Commander Marcus Hale's voice was steady, resolute. To the species of the galaxy, Earth is no longer a secret. We are awake, we are armed, and we will not be ignored. The message pulsed through. Communication satellites leaped across star networks and echoed in alien capitals. For the first time in centuries, Earth declared its presence, not as a quiet backwater, but as a force demanding respect. In the grand halls of the Galactic Council, panic spread like wildfire. Alien dignitaries whispered urgently, eyes darting nervously at one another. The Vakari envoys' smug arrogance had vanished, replaced by unease. Across distant worlds, military bases scrambled, ships prepared for unknown threats. Intelligence officers raced to piece together what the humans had truly become. Meanwhile, beneath Earth's surface, secret alliances formed. Representatives from fringe alien factions, long ignored or oppressed by the major powers, began covert talks with human envoys. The quiet undercurrent of rebellion and hope swelled. On Earth, crowds gathered in massive plazas, faces illuminated by the glow of the broadcast. Pride and fear mingled in their eyes. Children clutched small flags. Elders whispered tales of forgotten wars. Yet, behind the scenes, tension cracked the surface. Some humans questioned the risks. Was declaring war on the galaxy wise? Would it bring destruction or liberation? In a hidden bunker beneath the Sahara, Marcus Hale addressed his top commanders. We're not looking for conquest, he said, firmly, but we will defend ourselves. We will fight smart, and we will survive. Suddenly, alarms blared. Incoming unidentified vessels breached the outer solar system perimeter. Unknown ships, approaching fast, a voice reported. No response to Hale's. The council chambers on distant worlds prepared for impact. Weapons primed and fleets scrambled. But on Earth's command bridge, Hale leaned forward, eyes narrowed. They're coming, but this time, we decide the terms. The silence before battle was suffocating. A cosmic breath held tight. The galaxy watched, waiting for the next move. The night sky over Earth was deceptively calm, stars sparkling like distant jewels. But beneath that quiet, a silent war was already underway, one no one saw coming. In the shadows of alien citadels on far-flung worlds, cloaked figures slipped through corridors like ghosts. These were humanity's elite operatives, trained in the art of infiltration, deception, and deadly precision. Captain Lyra Voss moved like a whisper, her suit blending perfectly with the dim light. Her mission, cripple the enemy from within. The goal wasn't just to survive the galactic storm, but to turn it back. She paused before a massive control panel, fingers flying over alien glyphs with practiced ease. The systems hummed to life, then flickered and died. "Target neutralized," she murmured. Suddenly, blaring alarms shattered the silence. Red lights flooded the corridors as alien guards scrambled, weapons drawn. "Contact. Intruders detected." A voice echoed in a harsh alien tongue. Lyra darted into a narrow side passage, pulse pounding. The chase was on. Through winding labyrinths of alien architecture, the humans fought shadows with shadows. Silent energy nets, snared guards, and hacking drones disrupted security cameras. But this mission was not without risk. Lyra's comm crackled urgently. "Extraction compromised. You need to move now." Her heart pounded as she sprinted, a dozen enemies closing in. The line between hunter and hunted blurred in the eerie glow of emergency lights. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Marcus Hale watched. Feeds from the operatives. Every twitch of their movements a heartbeat in the broader war. "This isn't just sabotage," he said. "It's a statement. Humanity will not bow." As Lyra dove through a window into the cold void outside, she triggered a last-ditch explosive. The shockwave rocked the alien base, sending fragments of ancient stone and high-tech glass tumbling into the vacuum. Floating in the void, gasping for breath in her suit, Lyra's comm buzzed softly. Mission accomplished. Retreating. But the message was clear. The shadows had moved, and the galaxy's powerful citadels were no longer safe. Back on the alien homeworld, panic spread like wildfire. How deep did the human reach go? What other secrets were they uncovering? One thing was certain. The quiet planet that was once dismissed had ignited a war, not just of firepower, but of shadows and silence. The void around the celestial gateway crackled with tension. This ancient, sprawling structure, an enormous wormhole nexus connecting distant star systems, was the key to galactic travel and dominance. Today, it was the stage for a battle that would decide the fate of the entire galaxy. Human and alien fleets faced each other in the dark abyss, their warships gleaming like deadly predators beneath swirling nebulae. The Vakari and their allies formed a seemingly impenetrable wall of steel and energy, confident that their superior firepower would crush the upstart humans once and for all. Captain Mara Chen gripped the controls of the Defiant, her jaw tight, eyes scanning the tactical displays. "We've waited too long for this moment," she said. "They think they can crush us. Let's show them what it means to be underestimated." Suddenly, a thunderous volley of plasma blasts lit up the darkness. The battle erupted with the warships darting between crumbling asteroid debris, energy shields flaring, explosions blossoming like deadly fireworks. The humans fought with relentless determination, weaving through the chaos, using guerrilla tactics honed through years of conflict. They struck fast, then vanished into the nebula's shadows. But then, catastrophe struck. A massive alien dreadnought charged straight for the Defiant, its weapons blazing. The flagship's hull groaned under the impact as alarms screamed. Power flickered, and crew members scrambled to contain the damage. "Commander Marcus." Hale's voice broke through the chaos on the comms. "Hold the line. No surrender." In the chaos, Mara saw a flash, a small, unmarked human vessel accelerating toward the dreadnought's exposed engines. It was a suicide run. "Eva, what are you doing?" Mara shouted. The pilot's voice was calm but fierce. "For Earth." The smaller ship slammed into the dreadnought's engines with a catastrophic explosion, sending shockwaves through the battle. The enemy's formation wavered. Confusion spread. Taking advantage, human ships surged forward, striking critical systems and crippling the alien fleet's command ship. But the victory came at a cost. The smaller ship was gone, lost in the blast. Silence hung heavy over the Defiant as the crew mourned their sacrifice. From the shadows, a hidden alien cruiser emerged, unleashing a devastating counterattack. Human vessels erupted in flames, drifting silently into the abyss. Marcus's voice returned, grim and unwavering. "We survive by sacrifice and by fighting smarter than they expect." As the battle raged, Mara's gaze hardened. This was no longer just a fight for survival. It was a fight for humanity's place in the stars. The celestial gateway flickered, its ancient mechanisms straining under the barrage. Whoever controlled it controlled the galaxy's future. The remnants of the shattered fleet drifted like ghosts among the stars, silent witnesses to the cost of defiance. But from the darkness came a spark human ingenuity, refusing to be extinguished, deep within a hidden asteroid base. Engineers worked feverishly to repair and retrofit battered ships. Commander Marcus Hale paced the command center, tension carved into every line of his face. "We can't hold them off forever," he said, voice low but fierce. "But we can change the game." A soft chime interrupted the grim mood. Alina Rivera's voice crackled through the comms, urgency clear. "We've unlocked the final code from the alien relics," she reported. "It's a weapon, a defense system built into the celestial gateway itself." Mara Chen's eyes lit up. "If we can activate it, we can control the gateway. But it's dangerous," Alina warned. "Unstable. It could destroy the entire system if misused." Marcus's jaw clenched. "We don't have a choice." The plan was desperate, but bold. Infiltrate the celestial gateway's core and activate the defense, turning the alien superweapon against the invaders. Under a veil of darkness, Mara led a strike team aboard stealth ships. The corridor inside the gateway pulsed with ancient energy, humming with power from civilizations long gone. Suddenly, alarms blared. Alien defenders flooded the halls, their weapons blazing. The team took cover behind massive pillars carved with star maps. Explosions rocked the structure, throwing debris into the zero-gravity air. Mara's voice cut through the chaos. "Push forward. The gateway controls are just ahead." As they reached the core chamber, the team faced a monstrous Guardian N, ancient defense drone, pulsing with lethal energy. The air crackled as the drone unleashed a storm of plasma bolts. Mara dodged and fired, the battle a blur of motion and light. The drone faltered, but not before grazing one of her team. With a final surge, Mara struck the drone's power core. It exploded in a shower of sparks, the chamber falling silent. Frantically, Elena's voice guided them through the activation sequence. The gateway thrummed to life, energy spiraling outward like a star reborn. Outside, the alien fleet was caught off guard as cascading energy waves surged from the gateway, disabling ships and disrupting communications. The tide was turning, but as the energy wave reached full power, a terrible realization struck Marcus on the command bridge. The weapon was unstable. If it overloaded, it would collapse the entire gateway, trapping countless ships, friend and foe alike, in a deadly star trap. "We have to shut it down," he shouted. Too late. The gateway shuddered violently, light fracturing across its massive frame. Mara's team raced back through collapsing corridors as the ancient structure began to break apart. "Don't look back," Mara urged, voice grim, as they launched into space. The gateway imploded in a blinding flash, the shockwave rippling across the void. The galaxy held its breath. Silence stretched across the shattered remains of the celestial gateway's ruins, a graveyard of ancient power and shattered ambitions. The stars above bore witness to the cost of war, the echoes of sacrifice reverberating in the void. Commander Marcus Hale stood on the bridge of the battered Defiant, his eyes heavy with exhaustion but burning with unyielding resolve. The battle had pushed humanity to the brink, but the fight was far from over. "Status report," he demanded. "Alien fleets are regrouping," came the reply, tense and urgent. "They're rallying near the Orion Rift. Estimates show they're mobilizing for a final assault on Earth." Mara Chen stepped forward, her gaze fierce. "They've underestimated us for the last time. We don't just defend, we strike back." The bridge flickered as incoming transmissions interrupted the tense silence. A holographic image materialized, Vakari, Commander Vrish. His armor battered, but pride unbroken. This war was a mistake, Vrish's voice crackled with defiance. You have awakened a storm you cannot control. Surrender now, or be destroyed. Marcus's eyes narrowed. You never understood us. We don't surrender. Suddenly, the ship lurched violently. A barrage of enemy fire had found its mark. Explosions erupted around the bridge, lights flickering as alarms screamed. Shields down. 50%, reported the tactical officer. We're outnumbered, but not outmatched. Outside space was a furious dance of light and shadow. Human and alien ships collided in blazing fury, lasers cutting through the darkness, explosions painting the void in brilliant oranges and reds. In the chaos, a sudden, sharp blip appeared on the tactical display, a massive human battleship emerging from a hidden jump point, its hull emblazoned with the symbol of the Earth Federation. It was the Vanguard, the secret weapon of humanity, equipped with technology harvested from the very relics that had sparked this war. Mara's voice was a rallying cry. Now's our chance. Push forward. Take the fight to them. With renewed vigor, the human fleet surged. The Vanguard unleashed a devastating barrage of plasma torpedoes, ripping through enemy lines and fracturing their formation. But the enemy commander was not done. Deploying a massive energy weapon, they aimed to obliterate the entire human fleet in one final strike. Marcus gritted his teeth. Evasive maneuvers. Focus all fire on that weapon. The battle reached its crescendo, a storm of light and sound, strategy and sacrifice. Then, with a pulse that echoed through space, the weapon was destroyed. The shock wave knocking ships off course. The alien fleet faltered, then broke, retreating in disarray. As silence settled once more, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter. Back on Earth, people watched the victory broadcast with tears and cheers. The once dismissed humans had carved their place in the galaxy. Marcus looked to the stars, voice quiet but fierce. They will never underestimate us again.